Yo, what's poppin', people? Your boy Snacks is back in the building with another banger. You know how we do. Before we get started, we like to give a shout out to you, the viewer, and thank you for taking the time out to watch this video. But while you're here, can you do us a solid and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and please do not forget to turn your post notification bell on so you'll know when your boy is going live or dropping this heat. And you know we cannot drop a video without giving a shout out to our beautiful ladies of the CU Aunties because they are always, may I repeat, always in full effect and in full support of anything CU or anything tied to Coach Prime and the Sanders family. So when you see them in the chat or you see them in the comment section, make sure you holler at them and say what's up. But most importantly of all, be respectful. But as we get this thing started, and I don't know what's up with my voice, I don't know if I'm getting laryngitis or what's going on, but I know my voice is getting up out of here. And probably because it's football season, your boy doing a lot of coaching, doing a lot of talking. But we got to get this video done. But let me tell you this. Cleveland and the local reporters are starting to feel that pain. And I told you they was going to start to turn on the Cleveland Browns. Those questions are starting to now be asked. And they want to know what the hell is going on and what's taking so long and where we going from here. But let's go. Let's talk about it. Now, there's a question being asked in Cleveland about young Shedeur Sanders, about Dylan Gabriel. As we know, yesterday, the starters and the backups were announced for this week of the upcoming last preseason game. Joe Flacco is a starter, Kenny Pickett second, Dylan Gabriel third. And of course, pulling up the rear is our guy, Shedeur Sanders. And everybody wants to know, how is Kenny Pickett still second? And he has done nothing throughout the preseason. He hasn't played a game. He hasn't been practicing. He hasn't done anything. But like I told y'all, it is what it is. Nothing is going to change until after preseason. That lineup is going to stay the same. The quarterbacks will hold their current positions until things get better or everybody has had their shot to make their statement. Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders get a second shot on Saturday to make the statement on should they be primary or secondary quarterbacks, and if Kenny Pickett is worth keeping in Cleveland or not. Either way it goes, both rookies will be on the 53-man roster. Kenny Pickett is the questionable man in the ring because he hasn't been able to show anything during the offseason, during preseason, because he's been injured with that hamstring injury. But, with the full quarterback room, including Tyler Huntley, old Snoop, he's still hanging around. We'll see what's next. But local Cleveland media is starting to ask that question. What the hell are y'all doing? What are we talking about? Why are we still headed in this direction? Joe Flacco is a quarterback of the past. It's time to start looking for the future. So what are we doing? But on the overtime radio show on 92.3 The Fan, it all started with this question about Dylan Gabriel's football play.
Fans use an evaluation, which in a lot of ways is the eye test, and just seeing, all right, well, was Shedeur, did he impress me more? Did I watch it and go, that's an NFL quarterback compared to watching Dylan play? And I think if you use that evaluation, Shedeur looked better. It's like, okay, he's making plays out of nothing. He's putting the ball on the money. He didn't turn the ball over. All those things worked. But I think the way that, NFL teams and the Browns specifically might evaluate a quarterback, yeah, I think there was a lot more things to look at from Dylan to say this was cleaner football. But yes, the pick six, the turnovers, that aside, which I get, I'm not just throwing those away, but like you put those moments aside of, okay, a bad decision to throw the football and a miscommunication or a misstep from you on a handoff to Pierre Strong. He operated very quickly, which I thought Shedeur did too.
And see, that's the biggest problem. Everybody's trying to discount the interception and the fumble. Everybody's like, besides that. No, we can't say besides that. We can't skip that, because that is that. It is a major problem if you are a quarterback. You can't have turnovers. And of course, we all know it's football. Eventually, every quarterback is going to have turnovers. But out the gate, first game ever, and you not only have one, you have two in one game, which is your first game, your debut to the NFL, to the world. This is what I got. And what everybody left with is, this is the same thing we've been seeing in practice. And the question is, we knew Joe Flacco was going to throw interceptions. We knew DTR was throwing interceptions. Now you want us to be okay with another quarterback that's turning the ball over. Now the question is getting deeper, and the media is starting to turn on the Cleveland Browns and its management and its head coach.
Saying is they can do whatever they want to. And if they put Kenny Pickett as the backup and Kevin Stefanski stands in front of a microphone saying that he earned it, he's full of it. And then at that point, we could dismiss everything that Kevin Stefanski says about the quarterbacks and about earning it, and everybody on that team can.
I wouldn't go that far because, again, it still boils down to who you're comfortable with. And if you're more comfortable with a guy who has NFL experience as opposed to a guy who has none, that's rational, not irrational.
Sure, that's I'm more comfortable. That's not he earned it.
And that's courtesy of ESPN and Next Level on ESPN Cleveland. Yeah, that's not he earned it, because everybody sees it. And I always said this from the jump. Once everybody sees it, you can't take it back. You should have hid Shedeur as long as possible, because once he plays, there is no turning away from that. And they've been able to see both quarterbacks play. And everybody likes Shedeur more than they like Dylan Gabriel. Everybody wants Shedeur more than they want Dylan Gabriel. And that's going to be a recurring thing. You're going to hear that from all of the Cleveland hosts. And those cheers and those screams for Shedeur are going to get louder and louder and louder, especially when the season starts, especially when Joe Flacco throws his first interception or turns the ball over or throws a bad pass or whatever he does that doesn't complete a first down. Those chants for Shedeur are going to get louder and louder and louder. But y'all done made T. Rizzo really, really mad. And he off the chain with it. He's screaming from the top of the building. He Mel Kiper Jr. up in this joint, screaming from the rooftops.
Browns wanted Kenny Pickett to battle 40-year-old Joe Flacco. That's their answer at quarterback. And they drafted Dylan Gabriel in the third round and then put through the Shedeur, the most popular player in the draft, they threw in the fifth round, and they say it's a value pick. When they say it's a value pick, the value is what? You're not giving him a chance to start. You're not. They won't even let him play the ones in practice. Why did they draft him? Why? If I'm that kid, I respectfully go into that office and go, you guys, thank you for the opportunity, but can I please go somewhere where I have a chance to play?
Oh, boy. He just blatantly said, Shedeur, go in there and tell them to get me out of here. You need a trade. Because they not valuing who you are. They said you were a value pick, but they don't value you as a quarterback. Because we see your talent. The world has seen your talent. But Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry picked Dylan Gabriel. And they want so bad for that pick to work that they're willing to risk the integrity of this football team and this football team to have minimal success than to say that they were wrong by their pick. And you, as a 5th round pick, is better than their 3rd round pick. That's the problem. These people won't swallow their pride. They won't admit that they were wrong. They won't admit that they picked the wrong guy. And this groundswell is going to get bigger. And I told you, once them stands start being empty, then they're really going to feel it. But T. Rizzo wasn't done. Let's go.
For the first month of the season, we'll see all 4 of them on the roster, unless someone before that comes and asks for Pickett.
Yeah.
Pickett's the only one I think that would be traded.
Well,
I just don't see.
Shefty said that maybe somebody come for one of the rookies. Would they deal one of the rookies?
I really doubt it.
Tony, hold on. If I'm Shedeur, yeah, I might. I know that this kid's not like this, and he probably won't do this. But if I'm him, I'm going to go, guys. He's pretty confident, and there are a lot of people who like what they saw, even though it was one game. I'd like to go somewhere I have a chance to play.
Well, that would be a nice exit strategy because it would come off as doing Shedeur a favor. Like
I mean, one's got to go, right? One's got to go, T, to clear this thing up.
At some point, but I'm sorry. I know they don't care. If they were to trade Shedeur Sanders now after that preseason performance and he would go on to be good, nobody in this building would survive that.
Aaron, they want to look at Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel first. That tells you all you need to know.
That is true. They want to look at Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel first because they want to clarify their picks. They want to make sure that their pick and their trade of Dylan Gabriel and Kenny Pickett were correct, even though they gave up 2 picks for Shedeur. Shedeur might be a 5th round pick, but they gave up 2 6th-round draft picks to pick Shedeur in the 5th round. So it's not like they're not investing in Shedeur. But the problem is we've all seen who's the better quarterback, who's the more prepared quarterback, who's more ready to play in the NFL. And it's not Dylan Gabriel, and it's not Kenny Pickett. Like I've said a million times, Shedeur Sanders is the most prepared quarterback in that draft. And it's starting to show. But T. Rizzo still ain't done. He's still mad. Let's go.
5 or 6 games. Why wouldn't you just start Gabriel or Shedeur and see what you have? You're all in for next year already anyway. You told us that.
Well, you got to think of the locker room, Rez. You could lose guys.
Tony, the locker room needs to know who's going to do because you got to draft again next year. You're giving these kids no chance to be good or develop or improve. And I know what Joe Flacco is. Is Joe Flacco taking you to the Super Bowl this year, Tony?
No.
Okay, well, in Baltimore, in Buffalo, in Cincinnati, in Kansas City, they think their guy's taking them to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
why would I even play a guy?
Pick.
Why would I even play a guy who can't take me to the Super Bowl?
It's a transition year.
Oh, I hate that. I hate that saying, boy.
It sounds like the only thing that would make you happy is for Shedeur to play all 17 games.
I would love to see him, but I can't do that now because he didn't get the ramp up. He didn't get any reps. He has never even faced the ones. They wouldn't even let him face the ones. I'm just saying, Tone, rip off the Band-Aid and go with what you're going to do. They're half-assing everything, and it doesn't get you anywhere.
It'll get you to next year's draft.
Oh, God. Well, then, you know what? Wake me up next year. I'm not. What am I going to do? Invest my life in this season for next year?
Oh, it'll be fun.
Whoa, okay,
it'll be
buddy.
fun.
Save that
Hey.
quote.
Exactly. What are we doing here? Why did you draft them? Either one of them. If you're not going to make the investment, put in the time to make sure your 2 rookie quarterbacks are best for wear. What are we doing? And that is the current sentiment of a lot of Browns reporters and a lot of Browns analysts and a lot of people who have simply just watched both of them play. The question is, what are y'all doing? Why is it taking so long for you to figure out which one of these 2 quarterbacks is going to be your future? We know that you want it to be Dylan Gabriel because that's what you've shown us. We, as people who watch football, as people who analyze football, everybody says the same thing. Shedeur is the better quarterback. But the way the Browns are operating, as if Shedeur is the weaker of the 2 quarterbacks, not the better. Dylan Gabriel is first on everything, and they want Dylan Gabriel to be the man. So we asking, what y'all doing? When y'all gonna make some shake? But y'all let me know. Get down there in the comment section. Let me know what's going on. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Leave us your thoughts. Don't forget, see a CU auntie. Say what's up to a CU auntie. You know what I'm saying? Got so many videos to do. I don't even know if I got enough time. I'm gonna have to find me an editor because this is ridiculous. I need to make videos for real. But I'm gonna get out of here, man. Y'all have a good day. Because right now I gotta go get 5 of my tractor trailers washed. So I'm gonna holler at y'all later on. I'm out of here. Peace.